Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to take a look at Green-Red Salamander. Now that I've seen how impressive Priest of Everlife is, I want to try the old Green-Red builds with the Yakkapults and the Salamanders using this card as well, because if it hits someone like a Recon Reveler, it's really strong. If it hits a Spider, it's really strong. A Brigand is a good target as well, not to mention Ground Shakers. So there's just lots of good stuff that the Priest of Everlife can hit in this deck. So I feel that it could be a strong complement to the strategy. It does produce a 1/1 as well, which also synergizes with the Salamander. So to me, it feels like it does have a home in this archetype. And I'm trying to bring Yakkapult back as the win con. The Crackthorn lists have been a lot more dominant in tournament play recently over the Yakkapult versions. So let's see if we can bring Yakkapult back into the meta. Alright guys, let's get into some matches and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, into our first game. We are going to throw everything away here. We want to find Revelers. Brigands are pretty good. Priest, not sure if I'll play this turn 1, depends on what my opponent's up to. We are going second, so if our opponent is playing something like red, we can just go for Brigand. And then we're not open to then we're not open to Cypher's Wrath. We do see a desert coming down. We do have a Ground Shaker in hand, so this does kind of push me towards the Brigand line, simply because I can go into my third mountain and get a Ground Shaker down and go from there. Now it's going to be some form of blue, yellow, maybe events. We just saw the Flight of the Mantis go to my opponent's hand, so interesting. I can actually split off this side now and play the Brigand here, because I can use the Explore to go into this position, and then I can mountain into Ground Shaker if I really want to. Gonna collect, make a land into a tow ship. So quite an aggressive start from my opponent so far. So yeah, we'll go to the Explore. Take this third mountain. We'll drop the Ground Shaker here. Now, I'd like to drop the Ground Shaker here personally, but I feel that if we drop it here, we're just too open to this elemental. I'm really hoping that I can deal with this next turn with the Helicopter, regardless of what happens to this. Like, if this gets frogified, actually not that bad. Oh, getting out of there. Alright. Flight of the Manta. Oh, goes for land. So grappling hook found. Not great in this situation. We'll take the Reveler on the right just to start collecting from this well. Then we'll go into hopefully a Recon Copter next turn and get stuff done that way. This collects, which is a little bit. This is where the Explore Mountain's a bit sad, because if this was a mountain, I could have moved back. Another tow ship. Scoot onto our land. Hit. Hit. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move here. I'm going to take a forest in this position to block this Manta from double collecting, and then we're going to take Cypher. Probably here to play around Aurora on this target. Like, if my opponent has Aurora and Aurora's this, and fine, whatever. But if my opponent was to move down here and Aurora, kill my Cypher, then push 5 damage, I would be in a very sad position. Got Humbling Visions. Cypher's worst nightmare after Frogify. Takes clear into another Flight at the Mantas. So Garadan, pretty good card for me to draw in the near future. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad at all, is it? Got myself a Spider. I can eat this up if I really want to. I might just Recurrent Copter, if I'm honest. I'm not sure. Like, I guess I could Spider. Like, I could clear this and then Spider. But Recurrent Copter kills this and kills this on its own, which is pretty decent. I only leave Collection off one well, unless my opponent backpedals. Let's take a draw. It's gonna be a Salamander. I guess we will Recurrent Copter then. We'll go for this plan. We are behind just because my opponent has so much mobility, but green-red does have the power to come back if it needs to. It goes for the Choking Sands. It's not that bad. I'm a little afraid of Colossus. Like, Colossus is the thing that I fear right now. Is it going for Collection or is it going for 5? It's going for 5, okay. And then Collection on the left. Okay. Into another Manta. Oh, these Mantas are starting to add up. So another Recurrent Copter would be ideal in this situation. I guess we could go for a Stalker here. If we Stalker, we probably Stalker this. We Stalker this +1, and then Stalker can kill both of these. Just slowly get into a Salamander. So we could just Salamander these two next turn if there's something happens to this. But we've seen quite a few hard removal pieces from our opponents so far, so we're doing okay. Like we're under quite a bit of pressure, but the Spider here is really strong. It locked out a lot of Faeria from my opponent, especially if he just goes to my Orb now, because he has to... Oh wow, we're leaking Fugu. Wasn't expecting that. Alright. So I guess I have to move here. And Salamander like this. And then clear. Alright, we're not bad now. Things have eased for us. Now, the aggressive lake in the middle is kind of sad, really, because that's where my Yakkapult can go, but I can still stick a land here. The Fugu, unless it has an Aurora or something, is kind of on its own here. And actually respecting any other power-ups, which is actually pretty good. Like, I could have, like, Tiki Caretaker, something like that. So just respecting that card. This move-in is pretty much a big deal because I could have just grappling hooked across on the follow-up. That's fine. We can collect off this well. Maybe we double neutral just to lock things down. Collect off this well. Like Brigand here and then like double neutral. So we're just guaranteeing that we get that Yakkapult land for a bit later, but we're also making sure our opponent can't push any more aggression. I'm on 8. Not the healthiest number right now. It's Danu. Okay. That's actually kind of annoying, really. I guess I could go for a Salamander this turn. If I move this here, Salamander here, and then just push the Salamander up, the bigger Salamander, to block my little Salamander. I could grappling hook this. It's going to transform on one of these sides, which is kind of annoying, really. But then again, if I do it on my opponent's turn, he might get some good clears off with it. It's a tricky one. I have to +1 if I want to go for Salamander. Maybe I do shoot this. And then hope it takes this. Where my Spider is. But I don't like that. Something about that play that just doesn't sit with me. So let's go for the Salamander. We're getting value. Like, I know there is value there, so we're going to go for that. This is kind of the easier choice, really. Okay, he's just getting out of dodge. He's going to move down. Moves back. Oh, really? Oh, man. Well, this deck's gross. This deck is gross. I don't want to play against this. Twin Souls, Istanu. You. What a gross deck. It's a tricky one. I guess in an ideal world, I'll just pick up a Garadan very soon. Maybe I should be digging for that now. Maybe I should start digging for this Garadan. I'm gonna land off from playing Yakkapult. Like, I could land and then play Yakkapult to move it to the middle soon. Or just have it, like, here where it can start firing stuff across just to make my opponent's life a bit awkward. It's a tricky one, that's for sure. Like, maybe I do that. Maybe I just start getting the Yakkapult going and start shooting at stuff. Maybe I just go for Garadan at this point. I think I'll just draw. In hopes of finding a Garadan in my near future. This deck applied a lot of pressure in the early game, but also has quite a solid late game as well. It has Twin Souls, it has Istanu. What are you getting up to, Istanu? Right, that already moved. That's great. So my spider should be safe unless there's like combo removal coming out now, like Soul Drain, Spirit Theft or something. I don't know. Takes a draw. Into Water Elemental, just more stuff. More stuff for me to kill. Garadan, oh lord. How... I praise the dragon, and he comes to my hand. Just like that. Just like that. And now I get to clear all the board and win the game. Everything is dying. Nothing is staying alive. Welcome to Garadan. Goodbye, Istanu. It's nice to meeting you. And there he is. There's the victory. So I praised the Garadan, and he came to my hand at a very, very good moment there. The Brigand giving me the extra Faeria, lining up the clear on Istanu. Big board wipe, big blowout there. Taking the win. Well played to my opponent. It's gotten to another game. Alright guys, another match. It's a run back. It's a run back. And now I got away with murder that last game. I don't know if it's going to happen again. I just called Garadan and he came to me. But yeah, you know what? Let's play again. Let's give Vefty his revenge. He deserves it. I kind of cheesed him out there. Feels bad. So yeah, I'll just do this. It's gonna be a different game now. I'm gonna build off to this side. I'm just gonna island here this time, so splitting off. I'm hoping. See, the thing is, Vefty will probably not follow me. That's the only issue. Which is what forces me to split. I don't want to lose this spot again. Did my opponent's just going to play like something here that can kill either a Tiki Caretaker or a Priest of Everlife? Now what I could do is that if I go to the forest here and play Priest, I can then buff this with Tiki Caretaker. But if it's a tow ship, is that even that bad? Because tow ship will come here. Yeah, tow ship's not great. I do have a Cohen Copter. Maybe I go in this side and protect and kill the mantas and make sure the mantas don't get going. Maybe that's the key here. Going for the double collection this side instead. You know what? Let's try it. Let's mix it up a little bit. It's just because like I know there's tow ships, and tow ships are just a bit frustrating for me to deal with from this position. Oh, this might be actually a slower start. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like it's just a slower start. That's a big copter. That's a very big copter. Feels good. All right. We don't need any more forests in our life. We have enough forests. We're going to just push up now. So we're playing this a little differently, mainly because I have like such a good copter. Like if any mantas come down, I can just like mount in here, eat them up with a copter. There's gonna be a manta here instead, which also works out for me. Oh, he's doubling up. Okay, so doubling up on the mantas, and then I can just like copter here. That's quite good for us. And then next turn I could copter this one. So lots of recurring copters. Got an Emperor's Command 1/1. Wow, so much respect. It's already giving me value. That's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. So now we can actually do it from here and get on this well. Do I go for the big boy copter or do I go for the little copter? I think I go for this one, and then we use this one up here instead. Because this challenges the water elemental. Maybe stick Cypher here. We just say, you know what? Come across. Come and say hello to my friend Cypher. But Cypher could be a very good defender as well. Being able to kill tow ships. Stuff like that. And we can just use the copter to clear this. Let's wait. Let's wait. See what happens to this guy first. Manta does come across. I don't think there's mobility in this deck. Like, not Flash Winds at least. There might be, this is where he plays Flash Wind. This is a tow ship. Okay. So I do have a good Recurring Copter now. This is actually a very good Recurring Copter for me. I could Caretaker this. Give it a little push. Hit into the dude. Then I can Recurring Copter, kill both of them. Should I draw? Or should I make a land and play Yakkapult? I like land Yakkapult. That seems pretty good to me. So yeah, let's push this guy up a bit. Give him a bit of meat on those bones. Push this up to block the double, force in a land here. I'll go for another mountain. Oh, there we go. So, gonna go for a mountain, then into the Yakkapult. So while my opponent had a very good game against me last time, this time it was played more in my favor. He didn't really have that explosive tow ship start like before. So yeah, that worked out better in some ways, but I think like the draws had a lot to do with it. But good game. We had a run back. Still 2-0 against this blue-yellow deck. It's cool to see. I like the look of it. It looks very cool, FD. But good game. Let's move on to another one. Alright guys, another match. Let's throw all this away. We don't want any of these guys. We got Brigand and Priest of Everlife. So now we have a choice to go forests or mountains. Depends what our opponent gets up to. We're playing second again, so it's going to be a mountain from our opponent. So we're going to go for Brigand. Brigand's just a little better for me, I think, against red. Just because it means they need Flame Burst or 2 Cypher's Wraths. If I played the Priest of Everlife, they only need 1 Cypher's Wrath in order to take care of this. Also, if Groundshaker comes down on free, like, I don't really have myself set up. Okay, everyone keeps going down the other side. Oh, X gets playing Burn as well. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you torture us this way? Alright. I'm going to go for a Brigand on the left. So this Brigand is going to collect off this well, and then we're going to try and hold off on the right. So we are splitting again. I quite like just building an island, but as soon as my opponent builds like... yeah, Flame Burst. So as soon as our opponent like builds opposite, it's just really sad. So we might just stop here actually. We won't progress this any further. Yep, Cypher's gonna come down.
There can be only one.
Apparently, there can only be 1 Cypher. There could be 2 Cyphers. My opponent could be running Cypher. There could be more if Aurora gets involved. You should know this by now. He's been around a long time, Cypher. So this card asks some questions, at least. It's just like, can X-Gen needs to figure out if he can deal with this? And do I have 1 damage in my hand? Do I have a way to eat up this brute's stats? And once this Cypher gets going, is it actually that easy to deal with? You know, could it represent being a massive problem for my opponent? So that's the great thing about Cypher in this position. It's just, I'm not hoping its ability becomes useful. It's more of the threat of its ability. The mind game. So X-Gen is just gonna... I don't think he cares. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Do you have it? Into Sky and Enemy. So Sky and Enemy is gonna slow me down a bit. We're gonna take a forest here. I'm gonna kill this. So it's a shame now that we don't have enough forest to power this up preemptively. Because it does give our opponent an opportunity to Flame Burst this and run the Brute in. But then again, like, I don't think I mind that much. That's the thing. I don't think it's that much of an issue. I'm going to take Explore here just to make sure I get it. Just to make sure my Yakkapults can sit here a little later. We're not far away from them now. So it's quite good. Like, we were able to set the Yakkapult quite soon. Now, the only issue I have with Yakkapult in this matchup specifically is this guy. Just kind of lurking near the orb, you know, shoot with a yak, get something to eat up and burn me. But I'm not too sure what the win con is yet. Is it Scourge Flame? Is it Hellfire? Is this like a more mid-range variant of burn? Regular burn? Who knows? Well, we'll find out. The more special lands indicate to me Scourge Flame. So Scourge Flame needs 6 special lands. So he's going to pre-hit. You just leave it at 3. Oh, wow, okay. There must be a Flame Burst or something, right? No, there's another Sky Enemy. Okay. This deck's kind of cheeky. What are you doing, cheeky deck? Now, I can Groundshaker. That is an option. And then just protect this. And then it'll just buff it with Tiki Caretaker. Maybe that's what I need to do here. Well, Tiki Caretaker this. Just to give it more life. Like, I can tell it's already quite awkward for X-Kit to deal with. So the idea here is just make it even more awkward. It's back up to 5 life. You get the Sky Enemy pre-hit Sky Enemy. That to me says there's not really an answer for this yet, like a good answer. It was kind of like a long-term plan. I'll lock it down with the taunt structure, then I'll pre-hit it and lock it down with another taunt structure and hope that's enough. So now Cypher will start marching up here, just representing that threat. Flame Burst. Cypher's Wrath. So there we go. So we got to get an extra card out. That's a Flame Burst not going to my face. That's 2 Flame Bursts not going to my face. I'm pretty keen on this at the moment. It's looking pretty good. We still have the problem of Yakkapult not being that effective at the moment. So maybe we don't even go for it. Maybe we take a draw this turn. These Grimguards do make Yakkapult quite sad. So let's take a draw instead. I think I double clicked there and I lost my turn. I was going to play Priest. I guess I could have played Priest and then drew, but that doesn't change the problem that Yakkapult has right now. It's generating 2/2s, which Grimguard can eat up. It's not that bad. Like the double click there is not that bad because at most I play Priest. I can play Priest next turn. So that's Scourge Flame all set up now. And that Scourge Flame going for my face. So I don't have any healing. This is quite a bad matchup, I feel. Because I'm playing defensive. I don't really have a good answer for something like this. I have Ground Shaker now. Like, Ground Shaker doesn't really represent much. The burn just adds up. Like, Ground Shaker would be quite big now if we had played Priest, but maybe I needed to play Yakkapult. But then again, like, what did Yakkapult do? Shoots 2 damage here and puts a 2/2 next to my opponent's Grimguard. So we'll take a draw. There's a Deepwood Stalker. Again, not the best for this situation. So I hit this for 2. Puts me on 9. This hits me for 5. I hit it back, and it deals 3 damage to me. Leave me on 1. No way I can win. Like, Ground Shakers, all sorts of stuff. But there we go. So that was unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the Cypher's Wrath came. Like, if Cypher was still roaming, I might have been okay. The Sky Enemies actually were pretty cool in this build, actually. I quite like them. But yeah, good game to Scared. Let's move on to another. Alright, guys. Into another. So we're 2-1 so far. Playing against Dilgano. I played against Dilgano earlier, and he was still playing Red-Blue. Red-Blue is quite a popular color combination for Dilgano, in my experience of playing against him. Playing stuff like Gem Shell, like greedy control decks that use Bargain and stuff like that. So we can take a forest now because we don't have any more red cards, so we can start building towards these guys. Explore. Into Lake, into Archon. Into Animated Banquet. So this is actually a little faster than what I expect from Dilgano usually. So we can go Forest here. Then we'll go for Lair. Lair will slow things down a little bit. And let's take the Priest as well. Let's get this ability going. There won't be any Frogify, fortunately. It could +1 Phantasm, but it doesn't really do a lot. Lair's gonna kill this. Maybe we see another Archon come down. Yeah, okay, so there's just gonna be another Archon. Oh. Well, hello, Salamander. It's pretty good. So I will take Mountain here to block any push of land, so my opponent has to curve around. The next turn I can take another land here. And then I can maybe hit 2 Revelers with the with the Salamander. Which is quite big, like 4/9 Salamander. It's not a bad base stat line for it. It's usually a 2/5. So we're just building this little island here, just trying to hold things off. It's blue-yellow. Okay. I'm always interested to see what these decks are up to. Now I'd love to hit this. I really would, but I don't think I can. Because I want to hit 2 Revelers. Yeah, I kind of just want to hit 2 Revelers at this point. And just push a lot of Revelers up. Maybe I have to. Maybe I just move this here. And then I Salamander to make sure that a Reveler can kill it. Maybe that's my choice in this situation. I guess I could run this in. Move this across, play a Reveler here, and then Salamander. That might actually just be a little better in this situation. Because then we make sure we get both Revelers and we deal some damage to this guy. Which means now that at least a Reveler will kill this. And we don't miss a Reveler. We get the Faeria. I know we'll be able to kill it anyway, even if I hit the Priest. But then we'd have a Priest and a Reveler. I'd rather 2 Revelers. Like, throwing a 1/1 away just to get that additional Faeria back is going to be worthwhile. Because this is 6 Faeria, these 2 guys. Okay. These banquets are so awkward. I get to go to Yakkapult next turn. That's pretty good. Oh, let's go this side. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a shimmy, kill this, and then move this down and kill, and then but banquet up. But I guess maybe he's respecting some damage in my hand, and it's just going to play more passive. And that works best for me, actually. I'd rather passive play here from my opponent, going into between the wells, protecting himself from the Revelers. That gives me time to set up this Yakkapult. Alright. So Yakkapult is down. It's ready to start doing something. I haven't actually had a real good opportunity to use this yet. One of the win cons. Mainly because like the first game was so much aggression, Yakkapult wasn't really relevant. And the second game, by the time I played Yakkapult, my opponent had already scooped. Third game, again, like Yakkapult, not relevant at all. This game, it looks like it could get something done. The Grimguards really locked out my Yakkapult's last match, and I drew all 3 of them, so I was just like, ugh, it's awful. Why would I want that? Banquet. Alright, I want another Yakkapult. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a shame. That's a shame we can't shoot this with a Yakkapult and finish it off. Unless we decide to use the spider as well. I guess we can take a draw and see what else we find. Going Copter's okay. Going Copter works out quite nicely, actually. It's a bit better than Groundshaker in this situation. So if we can do this. Copter. And I'm going to spider this because this is starting to get on my nerves. You are a frustrating thing to deal with, Banquet. So as you notice, we went for a more defensive play there, controlling the wells instead of going for the face. The face doesn't represent anything right now. I'm not playing like a Gift of Krakoa build. I'm playing a far more defensive build. So we're going to take this out. That's fine, I guess, because I do double collect this turn. I guess the only sad thing is I won't be able to kill the Banquet again. Let's draw a spider. So if I draw a spider, I'll be able to eat up the Banquet. Oh, I'm just going to scoop there. So it doesn't feel like it can retain board control. And there we go. So we do take a win against another blue-yellow deck. Using Archons, toe ships, and Banquets and stuff. So kind of similar to the one from Vefti, but doesn't look like it was going for a Twin Soul win condition. It looked just more like a kind of a mid-range deck. But there we have it, another game in the bag. 3-1 currently with this build. Let's move on to our next match. Alright, number 2. Mr. Dickleton, the Duke of Prunes. I'm gonna throw all away. I want to find this guy, this little raver. So let's see what Duke's got in store for us. Now, I know that he's been playing a lot of Monstrosity recently, but there's also this cheesy Bannon deck he's been playing. I mean, I want to showcase it, but it's a bit too much of a meme, even for me. That says a lot about a deck, even if I find it's too much of a meme. And it'd probably take me a lot of time to just figure it out, and a lot of pain and suffering. These kind of decks at S and Dickleton, these kind of strange win-con decks, can lead to a lot of suffering. As you saw with S of Mill, it made me squirm that deck. That deck was really sad to play against. So we have double Ground Shaker as a way to answer this in the very near future. Do I just play defensive? Or do I play more aggressive? It depends what I think my opponent's playing. I guess we could just play around here. Play around this kind of region. Maybe get like up here with our next few lands, and then we can like salamander stuff around here. It's all about salamander, this deck, right? So it's kind of figuring out where you want your lands. If we go this side, we actually set up okay salamander stuff. We might have to push like an extra land. Let's just play defensive, and we'll see if Yakkapult is enough really to close out games. And you know, like I said, Crackthorn has been the archetype of choice for green-red as of recent. And maybe we'll find out why. Like I think Crackthorn's just a bit quicker, and I don't think the Yakkapult build is as good as other decks that want to kind of hold off. That's where I feel the issues are. And double Ground Shaker is decent here, but the problem is my problem with double Ground Shaker in this position is mainly the fact that I paid 12 Faeria to kill 2 guys. I think I would rather just Stalker one, if I'm honest. And I want this to be a mountain for the future. Maybe I can stick a forest this side. Make sure we have one on each side. Let's just eat this. We'll eat this frog here. Nom nom. Okay. Stick a priest down. So hopefully this hits like a spider or a reveler. Salamander was pretty good actually. The power up on the salamander was like a 4/9 that gives everything power and does damage and stuff. That was cool. I liked it. It's the first time the priest has hit salamander for me. It's hit like spiders for me. It's hit the Recon Revelers. I've actually hit another priest. I was running 3 originally, but I did cut it down to 2. Just so, because I was like balancing between Tiki Caretakers and priests, so I thought like a 2-2 split would be a little better. Yakkapult would be a pretty good target as well. Oh, I kind of wish we held off now. Again, we have Recon Copter earlier as well. That was a good one. I liked it. Yep, let's just relax. This doesn't turn. This will just they will just trade. That's fine. If it does go for if Dickle goes for a draw and then this turns, I have the Ground Shaker follow up. We might Aurora here. Aurora's interesting. Like I can sort of deal with Aurora in some ways. I have like Salamander Recoen Copter.
Would you like some tea?
I guess that's a library. It's just, yeah, figuring out where to put the library. Yeah. The library comes down. Library is an issue. 100% is an issue. Or do I just go for... Actually, can I go double Ground Shaker? I can go double Ground Shaker for 12? Leaving me on 4 and into Recon Copter. So that's also an option. Just have the +1. We can move this first. And we'll +1. So we're going to kill the library and the frog. Which is pretty good. Let's take Ground Shaker at this side. I'm just trying to figure out where to put the next Ground Shaker. I could put it on the well. I could have a good grappling hook target in the future. This also gives me access here. This kind of gives me access here. Let's put it on the well, just to give that option. So full board clear costs us all our Faeria, and that was a lot of Faeria to dump into that turn. And it does leave our opponent on 14, but we're playing against blue, and we currently have initiative on board. We've got to kill the library, we've got to clear the board, we've got to put some good stuff down, like 2 5/6s and a 5/7. So now I just need to draw that Yakkapult and get that going. I have 3 of them in deck, so I can really start pushing that damage. So I might just start drawing cards going forward, just to find that Yakkapult. Maybe I'll have to land here, like make one last land before I do that, just to close off my opponent from pushing into this region. If an Archon comes down here or something like that, I have a really good grappling hook target. Like, I don't mind grappling hook this, to be honest. Like, I think that's fine. I can just stick a 5/6 next to my opponent's orb, but we do find the Yakkapult. So what's more important here? The grappling hook to stop the collection on the right? I think so. I think I have to just, like, hold off for a turn. Like, I can, like, maybe double neutral across, and then gear up for Yakkapult next turn, make my last special land here. And then if I do that, or I just go special land here and leave this gap open, which I'm not too keen on. But I do want, I guess I could just move this here instead. That's probably a little better. Yeah, let's do that. So we're just trying to block collection, forcing the frog to make a land here. We'll go for a special land, so we'll go for a mountain in the middle. We'll just grappling hook this guy. Now, it's a shame we can't collect off the well, but that's fine. I'm just representing this threat. I'm just trying to force Dickleton to respond to this in order for me to get the Yakkapult down and then start shooting away and causing all sorts of trouble. The saddest thing for Yakkapult at its base level is the Aurora's Trick. Now, I have seen Aurora's Trick being played a bit more recently, and it's not something I want to have to deal with if I can get away with it. So Frogify, that's fine. That's a Frogify not going on my Yakkapult, right? So if I had went for Yakkapult this turn, I would have seen a Frogify in it. I'd rather this get Frogified after killing a double collector than Yakkapult get Frogified. I'm just going to jump back because the Recon Copter challenges it into another library. Okay. So I can actually push here. Oh wow, we have an amazing turn. Into mountain, into Resurgence. Here. Now the reason I just snapped this straight away is because this is now in late range of the library. So I have the potential for this to move and kill the library next turn. So once again, I'm forcing Dickleton here to respond to what I'm up to. I have questions. He has to find answers. I represent Tri-Collection next turn as well, with the Recon Copter, Ground Shaker, and the Reveler in these 3 wells. This can come up, clear the library, play Yakkapult after that. It's pretty good. And I got to kill the frog as well, so that's no collection. There's no Phantasm plays or anything like that. My opponent's lost initiative again. So that initiative is so important for blue. So if you can take it away from them, it might be worth it. Might Dream Reaver this turn? I don't know, it's kind of awkward. He doesn't have the really land placement for a Dream Reaver play. So I might just stick 2 things here. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Oh, Yulani, okay. Oh, he's gonna Dream Reaver me. Okay. So Yulani's really good in this position. I'm 1 damage off from killing the Dream Reaver, unfortunately. This kind of sucks. I can collect. I'm thinking a double neutral in just to stop land push into Radiance. That probably just wins the game. So I need to be aware of that. So I can double neutral across, and we'll stop that at least. We'll take the collection. We'll go for the Yakkapult. I was thinking of a Salamander line, but this is taunted, unfortunately. Then we can just, like, maybe hit this off. Just to make sure it's gone. And that could actually line up Garadan in the future. I also don't want this stuck here, right? I don't want this stuck in this position. I want to be able to Yakkapult next turn. So snaps a draw. Frogify. Ah, that's sad. The second Frogify does come out. Emperor's Command on this, I guess. And clear on my Copter. Then Humbler Visions this. No, okay. So we have to kill. I really want to continue to apply pressure to this. That's kind of where I am right now. I'm just like, this is what I need to pressure, and I think I have a way I can do that. So I can jump here. I can then move this up, and then I can mount in here. And I play a Recon Reveler, and then I Salamander them all. This lives in the exchange with this, and then I have this Recoan that can move across here, but also like a Battletoad that can jump here and clear this. I feel it's gonna get me a lot of mileage if I go for this line. The fact that I keep the Ground Shaker is just so good. Now, I know there's probably an Emperor's Command in hand, because I did see him highlight it. But now this Frog is in a prime position to contest this Yulani if it steps across to try and defend. This is a tough game. Like, I don't even know if I'm winning. I feel like I am. I feel like I'm ahead, but I don't feel like I'm winning yet. I'm really afraid of Radiance. I'm always afraid of Radiance. But I can just kind of block my orb, I guess. And if Emperor's Command gets used here, that's another heal gone. And that's an Emperor's Command that's not going to this if we see, like, a neutral push. Okay, so going to slow things down this way. I think this is going to get commanded, to be honest. Which I think's fine. Like, I'm absolutely fine with that. Tephra. So I'm thinking just move up. So we move up. We can then just kill the structure. I could just hit it for 2 and then push 3 damage first before I kill this. And I'll put my opponent down to 10 because he'll heal 1. Because then he'll take 2 from this. I can then hit... And then Tephra for lethal? Tephra on 8 will be lethal, right? And this structure might prove to be an issue. So maybe I do that. Leave the structure there just to make things awkward. I'm going to try it. You know, I think this could work out for me. Because what I'm doing is I'm going to kill this with the salamander. So it's just like, yeah, so he gains 1 now, right? Oh, other way around, because the library's played first. So it takes 2, gains 1, goes to 8. This gives +5/+5. This is now in the way. This is blocking anything from being played on this tile. So I'm forcing my opponent to use these tiles here in order to interact with this side of the board. So I'm kind of using this as a wall just to protect me. Radiance is probably the best thing that could happen now for me in terms of... Oh, the best thing that can happen for my opponent, but also the best thing that can happen for me as well in terms of defense. Unless it's the Dasherino Radiance, which I would not be too impressed with seeing right now. But Scourge of Oversky comes down to stop me from setting up lethal. It is a +1 into 10 cost Radiance, right? I guess that's what we're going to see this turn. Which I'm not too bothered about in some ways, because I'm forcing my opponent to use Radiance defensively, not offensively. So that gives me a bit of breathing room. And that works out just fine for me. Okay, let's try and get our other Yakkapult. Okay. Let's just start applying pressure that way. I should have moved this Priest of Everlife over. I think the one mistake I've made this game so far that I've noticed just now is I've had an opportunity to walk this Priest of Everlife over and start collecting off this well. Alright, Spell Will. So this is lethal with Tiki Caretaker. No, it won't be. It's lethal with Tephra. So yeah, Tephra sets up lethal here. He needs to kill both of these if he wants... Because the Swimming Statue's still in the way, right? He can't play anything here. It's still a problem. So he needs to kill both of these to stop me from hitting off the statue. Maybe he has another Frogify to stop. If he can Frogify this, you know, that's a problem solved. So it's actually going to be big Radiance to heal. So no longer lethal, unfortunately. Down to the last... So both Radiances have been played. Oh, really? Come on, man. He spell willed this. That's really sad. That's so sad. I burned a Rockoan Copter. It's not the worst thing I could have burned, at least. I can stick I can actually stick a fish over here, maybe, to start collecting. So Tephra pushes me to 7, right? So I hit this, I deal 7. It's not enough. Six. So I'm probably going to Lake Rubyfish on this side, and then play Tephra next to my Yakkapult, and then hit my opponent for 7. Just put that pressure on. I'm actually feeling a little nervous about losing now. It's such a hard deck to deal with. But this could double collect. This is something quite relevant. fact that it can double collect. I would love to put Tiki down. But I'm so afraid of like Humbling Vision into like Emperor's Commands. That's just lethal. So I'm going to have to put something bigger down. Let's just like push that damage. Let's going to bring the Reveler over just in case we need him. So we're representing lethal now with this. We also have 2 creatures down, which is a bit annoying. If I can double collect next turn, go to 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to be 1 Faeria off playing Garadan. Garadan could be huge. Because Garadan could be the card that stops this from blocking me from finding that lethal. Was it better to +1? No, it probably wasn't better to +1 there, because I was on 13, right? And I played Tephra, and I played this. So this represents 2 collections for 1. Tephra just doesn't last long enough. That's an issue. And Tiki Caretaker doesn't push this enough to kill the Radiance.
The sky is only the beginning.
Is that a Eulani's medallion? Is the other Frog 5? Of course it is. Feels bad, guys. That is a feels bad moment. Okay, well, I get to double collect. Pretty good. 1 Faeria off from Garadan. Garadan would be a pretty big swing in my favor. So I probably just Caretaker the Frog, kill the Radiance, and then I just like play stuff. Like maybe I just play another fish. So yeah, we can just Caretaker here. Let's get this Reveler over. So I can gear up for Garadan for next turn. So if I play this Ruby Fish, I'll be on 4. I should collect at least 1, although this could jump in the way. It probably jumps here and they kill a fish each. So I collect 1, I collect 1. That'll put me on 6. If I don't play a Ruby Fish now, I'm in the position to... I guess Garadan... I guess I don't play a Ruby Fish, right? Because this jumps, this clears this. I run this guy in and I gain Faeria. Put me up to 7. If this jumps... Oh, I guess if I build... I have to build land if this jumps here and kills a fish. Let's play a fish. I don't know. I don't know. I needed to work that out quicker. Gain 3, collect 1, +1. Yeah, so I'll be able to do it anyway because I +1'd. So now it's just hold off. Now it's just slow things down. Fatigue is probably my win con going forward. Garadan may just give me enough of a push now to win the game. But timing Garadan is going to be important. Because right now it doesn't do a lot. It doesn't kill this. Maybe I need a few more fish. Maybe this needs to eat a few more fish before I drop Garadan. One more fish and this will be answered. So if Fagoro jumps to collect, I guess I can like answer it. A little unfortunate here that Dickel did lose his connection. Now, he did have a drop earlier, like a quick drop. Obviously, this puts me in a much better situation to win the game. Because he missed an entire turn. And I just get run 2 fish into this, into Garadan. In an aggressive position. And that's gonna close out this match. You know, this is kind of sad because I'd rather see what the response is. I don't actually think Dream Reaver can win from this position now that I look at it. I mean, what happens, right? Fugoro clears this fish. Radiance clears this fish. I then probably... If Fugoro moves here, I can actually just hit... I could actually just Caretaker this, and then hit and clear Fugoro and play another fish, and then wait till next turn. And then next turn, that fish does the final damage to Radiance and kills it. Rip Diggleton. Even Teddy's saying rip there. But yeah, Garadan is the one that would be best in this situation. But yeah, you know what? I think I win that game. Like, I don't know. Like, let's ask Teddy. Let's ask him. Let's see if Bean jump. Oh, maybe not. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. Jump, kill, Tiki, heal, medallion. So everything becomes a 10-10. Let's actually work this out. So this is a 10-10. Hit. Jump, kill, Tiki, play a 10-10. Command. So, alright, so he heals the command. So he goes up to 7. I have to hold off a 10-10. That's all the commands. Is there any other removal? I wonder. Because what did I draw? I drew Brigand and I had Tiki Caretaker. So actually, maybe he would have won that. He takes another 2. Goes down to 2. Actually, I think he would have won that game because I had a Tiki Caretaker in hand as well. So this Tiki gets killed, and this becomes a 10-10. I play Tiki Caretaker down to defend, and then I have this forest here. So then Radiance moves across because this is now a Radiance. This Radiance now moves across and clears this Tiki Caretaker. And then I'm in a situation where I need green cards in order to block. Now I have a load of ruby fish in hand. I had the Brigand. I had Garadan. So the medallion from Fugoro would have won the game. So yeah, he would have won. Would have won the game. Yeah, he would have won the game. Just because I wouldn't be able to block. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to block the Radiance on this following second turn for the lethal. Unless I drew... I guess if I drew... Yeah, did I use all my Yakkapults? Like, if I drew another Priest and Leia, then maybe, you know, maybe I stay alive unless I draw... I draw Leia plus Priest. To set up blockers. So yeah, so unless I draw Leia and Priest to set up the blockers, I probably don't. There's a slim chance I win the game. Like I think this match after the medallion play is like 90% in his favor. But good game. Like I know I won here, but I didn't really win. I'm going to give this game to Dickel. He is the one who won this match. I just won because of disconnect. But good game. Like that was a tense game, and just the fact that Medallion and Radiance is still a thing in this deck that already has so many threats is just it's the saddest thing. There we have it. Good game. That concludes this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can see why Yakkapult is not the go-to card for this archetype anymore, simply because it's not as good of a win condition as Radiance. Radiance is just a better win condition. Now, I could just jam Radiance into this deck, but it doesn't quite have the economy engine that Blue has currently. You know, I wouldn't have access to Yolani's Medallion, you know, the libraries, and the original Radiance, that synergy as well. So there are things that Blue just do better than Green Red when it comes to control decks. And currently, you know, Dream Reaver setting my life to 10, being able to hit me for 10 with one of these big Radiance cards is just a clean way to win the match. Setting up a Yakkapult and hoping it eventually chips away at my opponent is just isn't viable. As I wish it was. I do like that version. The Crackthorn variants are a bit more mid-range driven. I do prefer control decks, but that's just the way the meta is right now. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. This week I covered a couple of decks. I covered Teddy's Mistral Yellow Rush. It's controversial. Some people might say that I've made a video on this deck because it's very powerful, and some players are afraid of its potential, and I don't know, only time will tell. We'll see what the next competitive event for Faeria brings, and let's see if this Mistral Yellow Rush does end up as a rampant deck, and a deck that everyone just puts in their lineups. I don't think so. I think Faeria is quite flexible, so I'm not too worried about that. There's also the green-blue hand buff swarm deck based on Rungdong's version. I built my own version. I've just changed a few cards that I wasn't enjoying when I was playing Rungdong's, and I'm not going to say mine is better. I think Rungdong's is probably better than mine because he's probably practiced it a little more than me, but I just liked it being a bit more consistent with the Priest of Everlife and the Ring of Fish, so I kind of just bumped them up and dropped out the Verdant Emissaries, which weren't doing much for me. So until next time, guys, take care, and I hope you enjoyed my green-red Yakkapult deck.